What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods, my friends. Things have been good here in the MLB streets. Hopefully that continues tonight. Obviously coming to in the middle of this slate here. Hey, Paul Goldschmidt actually decided to get on base and steal bases and do some things. I've got Lindy's Pick'em Leans, Likes, and Locks. You can check that on the Odd Chopper channel where I'm breaking down Prize Picks and Underdog. I'm doing extra videos in the PGA streets over at Underdog. That's not true. Over at Odd Chopper Golf. Great stuff going on over there as well for myself, Ben Raza, Eitan Shander. So many guys you know and love here on the Odd Chopper channel. Give that Odd Chopper Golf channel a view as well. Give it a little subscribe. Check out all the great content. Travelers Championship, elevated event, huge golf tournament there as well. But mostly been focused here on the Twitters, helping you guys out live in the afternoons. Yes, I'm going on Twitter. I am firing up videos for you guys to update to new information so you can see my locks if there's anything that changes, if there's new information that becomes available, and most importantly to me, I get the opportunity to just walk you through a little bit of my process, 14, 15 minutes, take you through a game or two, be able to show you the stats that matter to me the most. I feel like sometimes because there's 15 games, I can't do a 75-minute show. I would love to do a 75-minute show. Actually, I don't know if that's true or not, but I know for a fact that I want to be able to help you research, be able to figure out your process, your modeling, everything yourself as well. But hey, Odd Chopper does a pretty good job of helping you out there. You can sign up for that in the video description box below as well. Cool, great, grand. No yelling on the bus. BetMGM, check them out. We'll talk about them a little bit later. I'll probably quote Billy Madison again sometime later. It's Nudie Magazine Day. No, it's not. It's Wednesday. We have a lot of baseball. It's early morning baseball coming to you all day, all the live long day. I got producer Jacob alongside, playing sidecar here once more, my friend. Let's get to the picks. I kind of love this spot in the morning, and I tempt it. I dabbled with thinking about locking, and mainly because it's on the border, but it's early in the morning. Do you really want to be getting yourself up, having some coffee? Well, I'm going to be watching baseball no matter what. I've got to get up and work before this, so it doesn't really affect me. I think this is a great spot, though, to be looking at an under. We've got the Baltimore Orioles, Tampa Bay Rays, Tyler Wells, Taj Bradley. We know by now these two lineups, they're very good. Tampa Bay leading the majors in terms of WRC plus against right-handed pitching. Baltimore not terribly far behind, but I think you understand where I'm getting at with this one. Gunner, you lost me. You lost it for me, Gunner. You lost it for yourself. It's D2, Mighty Ducks. Thank you. He is back in this lineup. One of the things that we were paying attention to the last couple days here, he was the DH on Tuesday, so he's fine to go, but I still don't care. It's Taj Bradley, one of the best young arms in baseball with a 34.1% K percentage. He got sent back to the minors for God knows what reason to work on his pitch mix. What's he going to do? Four-seamer, cutter, change, curve. Done. I fixed it for you, Tampa. Although you're way better at baseball analytics than anybody else, so I'm not going to besmirch you. Taj Bradley, very good, facing a Baltimore lineup in Tampa Bay that traditionally, pitcher's park, even though, God, this lineup just been absurd here this season. A bunch of guys, 10-plus homers, wild stuff. But Tyler Wells on the other side has been our one constant. Shout out Lost fans. Tyler Wells, 218 expected batting average, 26.1% K rate, 5.1% walk rate. He is about the only guy out there that I feel somewhat remotely confident in here. Shout out Cal State San Bernardino. Woo, woo. I know that's where he went. He's also very tall, 6'8". Nobody gives a shit. Under 8.5, though. Definitely a spot where I'm looking at the bullpens, liking what I'm seeing. And, well, you're going to play the matchup game if you're Tampa. That's what they're always going to do. But I think Tyler Wells is the one guy, as long as you're getting Adley Rutschman back there catching, that I really feel good about in this crew. And with James McCann on the shelf, I think you're probably looking at Rutschman catching as many times as humanly possible. No days off. No days off. Bill Belichick. Lots of quotes within that first game. So there you go. Under 8.5. I like it to get our day rolling. Speaking of rolling, Yuri Perez cashed that 5.5 over Ks. Oh, it was just so beautiful. Plus money too. We got plus money on that. Hopefully you were tailing that one from yesterday. That's a play. I should have just jammed the 4.5, but I mainly just attacked the 5.5 for plus money. I was a little bit surprised by that at a bunch of books, and he's that good, friends. He's that good. Different situation here, but a low total. Sevens. It's low. Makes sense, though. Kevin Gausman, he's very good. Sandy Alcantara, he's having a struggle bus season. Nearly a 5 ERA, 1.22 whip, and that's where I start to disagree a little bit with where this line is sitting with. Not enough to bet it. Not enough to bet it, but it's still something that I can disagree with and still find it to be closer to a 7.5, but there's not really enough meat on the bones at that kind of a number where I want to be firing it up, especially with Kevin Gausman, 32.2% K percentage, 298 xWOBA, best hitter in that lineup on the Marlins side. I mean, Luis Arraez is not the best. Jorge Soler is the most important hitter, but again, Luis Arraez, if he hits 400, that's going to be really freaking cool. 564 expected slugging for Jorge. You flip him, though, to face a righty, life's a lot better, gotta say. So Kevin Gausman, good spot here. Sandy Alcantara, though, sub 20% K rate, 260 expected batting average in a potent Toronto lineup. They're the ones doing a lot of the heavy lifting on this line, where I'm leaning on the over of 7, but again, 7.5, 7.6 I'm kind of looking at. I don't think we want to tango with that in this Miami ballpark. Compresses runs. I think Sandy Alcantara can have some success, just not finding it very much lately. Washington on the road there, 5 earned. Against Oakland at home, 5 earned there. 4 against San Diego at home. 3 of his last 4 at home, 4+ in each one of those. That's not ideal. That's not ideal. So over 7, lean, but primarily Toronto doing the heavy lifting, and I just don't think these numbers are bettable when you're starting to talk about, should be closer to even money here, I suppose, in this spot. Maybe I need to reconsider. Cincinnati, well, seems like there's a lot of solo shots popping up around here. Nick Senzel, some other dudes on Monday. Tuesday, you saw Ellie De La Cruz hit number 2. That was fun. I enjoyed watching that. TJ Friedl. I always love that name. But Cincinnati hosting Colorado for yet another lovely round of baseball. My God, can we get these two teams out of here right now? I mean, Cincinnati's so good. I'm very much enjoying them. We're all Cincinnati fans, right? I'm pretty sure that's where we're at this point in time. It's been an enjoyable experience. But as it stands right now, friends, there's no line because there's no official pitching situation. We do have Abbott and Siebold, though. Andrew Abbott expected to be the starter here. Nice couple debuts here. He's been a stud. I think you're going to be looking at Connor Siebold on the other side here, and that just creates a chasm where I expect Cincinnati to be massive favorites here. I don't really find anything all that appealing. Connor Siebold, nearly a 6 ERA. You know what Abbott has now for Cincinnati on the other side, the southpaw, in his first 17 2/3 innings in the bigs? 0. Squadoosh. Nilch. Nil. I suppose there's 3 zeros in the ERA column. Andrew Abbott is very good. This Colorado team's a deep dog doo-doo. I mean, they're already just getting murdered because they're in the NL West. Have you looked at the standings of the NL West with the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, and the Giants? The Giants coming to fruition, even though I ended up pretty keenly on San Diego there on Tuesday. Hopefully that pans out for us. Monday, whew, that would have been a terrible spot. That would be a horrible beat there. Mike Yastrzemski, he's pretty good at baseball. Nice 9th inning rally. Then he goes yard and extras. Crazy stuff. But in this one, I'm actually looking at another solo shot. Cincinnati, they're always primed for a homer. And I got to give a shout out to a guy that I put in the premium Discord the other day because he's been popping in my model a lot against righties. It is Jake Fraley. He has just a 28.7% hard hit percentage, which just sounds horrible, but he's got a 410 expected slugging in that number, generally batting in the middle or top of that lineup, depending. It's been more Friedl at the top of it lately, but he's strictly a platoon guy. But we've been getting plus 700, plus 600. It is just a question of if you can find a spot where you get some of these weak, soft tossing righties, because he is so bad in terms of hard hit percentage and average velocity there, but he's just so specific in terms of avoiding strikeouts. He just is going to be somebody that in a small ballpark like this, I'm going to be invested in more times than not, knowing that he's going to get 2, hopefully 3 at-bats against all the righties there. And well, Colorado, that's pretty much all they're throwing out of there in the pen. So better chance for him to stay longer into that game. So Jake Fraley makes a nice add to the card as long as, and this is wild to say, has to be better than plus 525, but I feel pretty good about it. If that's not available, I don't know, that Ellie De La Cruz guy seems pretty good. We could probably go to him too. Back to another play on a total. Wild. Under 8.5, and then obviously the lean home run, which I'm hoping I can get Jake Fraley on the card. But we got the Cubs. We've got the Pirates, and pitching. This is tough to look at. Kyle Hendricks, the corpse up. Rich Hill, the extra corpse up, because he is 94 years old. He's like the guy in Indiana Jones guarding the Holy Grail. He chose Ole. It's not my best. It's not my best. I gave him my best, though. Kyle Hendricks is too, but he's still terrible. 14% K rate, 279 expected batting average, and Rich Hill on the other side, the southpaw, 490 expected slugging, 276 expected batting average, and lots of problems against righties. That's traditionally what's going to happen for lefties. Imagine that. Imagine that. I get Rich Hill's finding ways to be effective at times. He's gone 6 in 3 of his last 4 outings, but the walks have been up. He's had 6 as recently as last start against Milwaukee, a 1.40 whip. Chicago bringing some righty power to the table, and the likes of Seiya Suzuki, Christopher Morel. Patrick Wisdom's not there right now. That's sad. Ian Happ. That's what I was kind of waiting for. Everything's going very slowly on my end, but I'm going to improve. I'm going to improve, as are the Pittsburgh Pirates in the hitting department. Brian Reynolds, Jack Sawinski, Brian Hayes. Lots of batters that I want to be backing here. I don't know why Cespedes Marcano was leading off today, but such is life. Didn't like that in the old model. Put Rodolfo Castro in, please and thank you. Although Marcano, 41.5% hard hit percentage, just a 14.1% K rate. I get it. I just need stuff for my year-long team too. Looking at the modeling though for this one, over 8.5 is projecting out as a play. Pittsburgh, not your most positive hitters park that there ever was on planet Earth, but you get that morning afternoon special. Those are the good times, my friend. We are looking at a first pitch in this one of 12:35 local time for it. Looking like it's going to be a little bit warmer out there, 72 degrees. You get away from some of that evening baseball. Ball should be flying a little bit more. Give me more on the runs against 2 pitchers I think you're going to be targeting till the end of their careers. Oh boy. Brady Singer, Matthew Boyd. These are 2 pitchers that once upon a time I might have wanted to back, but we got Kansas City, Detroit here, and Brady Singer of the Royals. Oh man, 5.94 expected ERA, 55.9% hard hit percentage. Apparently last year was a mirage. 3.97 expected ERA, 3.23 ERA during that season. Man, it's so sad when you think somebody's got it figured out and they just don't. The only thing he's got going for him here is a fantastic matchup going against the you-know-who's, the Detroit Tigers. Bunch of mismatched human beings, 87 WRC plus, just a 136 ISO against righty pitching on the season. That, my friends, is bad. But it's not exactly ideal on the other side, getting Matthew Boyd on the mound. This is somebody Detroit should have cut bait with a long time ago in terms of a trade because, well, he used to be very, very good. And this year, finding some form again, 34.4% hard hit percentage, 23.1% K rate, but the walks are up to 9%, and it's still a far cry from the pitcher that he used to be as soon as the last 2 years, basically. 2.70 expected ERA, although it was basically just in 2 starts before he got hurt and was done. So cool stuff there. 4.18 expected ERA in 2021, 3.89 actual ERA. That was the year that I am alluding to. That year, the Minnesota Twins could have used a pitcher, that's for sure. But in this spot, I don't really like these 2 teams in terms of trying to project them in terms of bats. I do like the top of the Kansas City lineup I usually have, but we've seen some major regression from Sweet Melendez there, MJ Melendez. Although the hard hit is still there, 229 expected batting average and a 30.2% K rate. Not ideal. Bobby Witt is still one of the best players in baseball, that's for sure. 532 expected slugging. Love him at shortstop there for Kansas City, but Sal Perez, he gonna get moved? Maybe? So I know a lot of teams could use a catcher with a 47.7% hard hit percentage and the experience he does, although kind of a glorified DH for the most part. I hate this game. It's really tough to look at. Kansas City on the money line if I had to, only because you're getting a little bit of value there. They're the plus money dog. I'm still not going to be firing it up. Would need better than plus 115 to get there. Friends, BetMGM, they're the sponsor of this program, and here's why. Because I really like their product. Simple as that. If I didn't, I wouldn't push it because I truly truly hate doing stuff that I don't want to do, but I want to bet over at BetMGM, and here's why. They have some of the best bases props that you're looking at. Paul Goldschmidt ended up over there today, best bases prop that was there. You had some of the best unders, actually, some of the totals that stood out there. And then K props also stood out across the board over there. Yuri Perez, plus 125 over 5.5 Ks. That was where we landed there. So if you want some of the best lines in baseball, check out BetMGM. I know you have your FanDuels and your DraftKings, and those are lovely. They're really great. But we also have two other great promotions that are helping you guys out to really incentivize you to just try out the product. If you don't like it, just take your money off of BetMGM. It does not hurt my feelings in the slightest, but it's called Odd Shop for a reason. I want you shopping for the best odds every day, and I want you taking advantage of the cool promotions that they allow us to run, such as 2 free months of the premium Discord with my betting card every single Sunday through Friday. If you've enjoyed my Twitter updates, my Lindy's Locks updates, if you've enjoyed all of the great breakdown and analysis that exists there, imagine getting the opportunity to have all of that on every single game, every single Sunday through Friday. Just saying, it seemed pretty good to me. Don't guess. Don't just be out there firing and stabbing bets at random stuff or parlaying massive minus monies together. Trust me to help you out in that premium Discord. And if you have questions about a process or something that doesn't make sense to you, or you just absolutely can't stand that I'm about to put Oakland plus 1.5 on a card again, not today, my friends, not today. You're going to have the opportunity to ask me every single live long day there, Sunday through Friday in that premium Discord, as well as other great analysts such as Eitan Shander, such as Ben Raza, so many other great analysts. Check us all out there in the premium Discord, but that's not all. You're also going to get up to $1,000 in bonus bets back in your account if your first bet loses. So let's say you deposit $40 over at BetMGM. You play $40 over there on that first bet and it loses. You're going to get $40 back in bonus bets. That is a win-win, my friends. Take advantage of these kind of promotions. You could do it for $100, for $250, all the way up to $1,000. You could put $1,000 on a big plus money dog. If it wins, you keep all the money, and if it loses, you're getting $1,000 back in bonus bets. So take advantage of all these promotions over at places like BetMGM, only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all, let's get to a lock, shall we? We've got Zach Gallen on the mound, and you know what that means, friends. It's time. Let's get ready to gamble. Can't wait. Julio Teheran over here on the other side for Milwaukee. He's been oddly good. 32.9% hard hit percentage, 279 xWOBA, just an 18.2% K rate, but I think you can kind of overlook a lot of that when you start talking about a 3.6% walk rate in addition to it. It's got a 1.78 ERA and a 3.13 expected ERA, but friends, this Arizona team, we've been backing them a lot, and we're going to continue to back them a lot, especially in certain spots like this. Just a 19.2% K rate do the Arizona Diamondbacks have, and I think they did one of the best things possible for their organization by sending down Alec Thomas. Might have fixed him. He went yard. He looked really good. I had to go back and watch some of those at-bats. I don't think Twitter.com is going to look kindly if I try to share at-bats and some of that. I'll do a heat map data. Oh, that's what we can look at. All right, we can maybe do something like that tomorrow. Brainstorming, thinking ahead, but mainly because I know that this is going in the lock category. I love this Arizona team top to bottom against right-handed pitching, and so should you. A 110 WRC plus, a 185 ISO, and Corbin Carroll. Those are 3 good reasons to like them. And then, well, you get Zach Gallen on the other side as your pitcher. He's got the more tried and true track record between him and Teheran. Teheran's had flashes of brilliance like this before. It fades away eventually. Zach Gallen, he's here to stay, baby. 27% K rate, 307 xWOBA, does have that 45.6% hard hit percentage, but because he's just limiting the contact in terms of the K rate, it's not really coming back to bite him in the you-know-what. We have Milwaukee. They do have their serviceable lefties. They have their Christian Yelich's, their Rowdy Telez's. Let's get rowdy, friends, right? Let's not here in this spot. That would be great, mainly because I'm targeting them with just an 89 WRC plus and a 151 ISO against righties on the season. They strike out at a 24.7% clip. I think this is your parlay du jour piece. I think this is your addition to everything that you're looking at doing. And hey, best available line currently at our sponsor, BetMGM, minus 140 on the money line. That is more than fine for me. The better lineup, the better starting pitcher. I expect negative regression for Tehran, and then better bullpen. Arizona Diamondbacks, best story, one of the best stories in baseball. Cincinnati's got to be number one right now. But either way, I'm caring about Arizona more. Arizona minus 140, gets it done, lock it in. We got the Mets and the Astros, and well, we ended up heavily on them on Monday, the Mets. We ended up staying as far away from this game as humanly possible on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, are we going to dip our toes back in? Let's see, shall we? Let's break it down. Tyler McGill on the mound against Christian Javier. That's called a mismatch, and it's showing up in the numbers, although, just saying, it's almost like your boy was ahead of the curve here. Houston only minus 150 best available number, minus 155. That wouldn't typically be what you get with Christian Javier going up against Tyler McGill, but that is the effect of no Yordan Alvarez in this lineup. That's the effect of what this Mets team can do with lefties up and down that lineup, getting 5 of those into the mix, whereas you only have Kyle Tucker going up against Tyler McGill. So I've just basically been using some of the righty splits to help me out there. But Javier, 35.3% hard hit percentage, strikes out a bunch of dudes, looks really, really good. We got to like everything about that. But look at McGill. He's been awful against lefties. 1.73 whip, been giving up quite a bit of power, walking a lot of dudes. But a 1.54 whip doesn't sound like it's drastic improvement, but it's a difference. It's a pretty notable difference, in fact. And we do have Yanner Diaz the other day, wildly enough, in that 11-1 win. I still, on a Live Before Lock show, talking a little bit of DFS, gave Yanner Diaz out as somebody where I'm like, this guy has crazy reverse splits right on right. And sure enough, he was the only guy to put up a run there. It's just kind of ironic. We'll see what he does against Justin Verlander. Batting cleanup now. Yanner Diaz, my, this Houston team, they're sliding. They need Yordan Alvarez back, and they need him back right meow. But I don't think at this number, I'm really interested in backing Tyler McGill. We know the Mets with the bullpen, just so sad. This team's just, they were set up for glory. You have an owner, Steve Cohen, is just going out and spending bills like it's some club in Vegas, which sounds like a lot of fun. I don't know, you could probably drop some money there, that's for sure. A lot more than the $1 billion it's seen that he's got. He's dropped a lot more than that at this point in time. You buy a baseball team? Nobody cares here. I'm not talking about a play. Houston minus 1.5 would actually be the shot I would be taking in the dark here, just because of how bad McGill is. But again, those righty splits, it's pretty hard to get to a team with one lefty here where McGill should have the platoon advantage everywhere else. Yeah, this is just an unappealing portion of our program. I'm so sorry to everybody. I apologize to my family. I will do better. Although, why would I just give you plays that suck? Like these two pitchers. We have Trevor Williams and the Washington Nationals hosting St. Louis and Miles Michaelis. And Michaelis, oh my. 298 expected batting average, just a 16.6% K rate. Talked about his salary last time. Not a good purchase there by old St. Louis. You can find me. We're not going to do that. Trevor Williams, 504 expected slugging, 17.5% K rate. He is also terrible. The four-seamer, throwing it 50% of the time, and it is so hittable. Oh, it is hittable. It is really fun to have that beanbag chair getting thrown at you repeatedly. 543 expected slugging, the worst of all his pitches, and he's throwing it the most because he has no confidence in anything else. Sounds great to me, but it doesn't sound great in terms of betting. And then the number opened at 9. Was hoping I was going to get an 8.5 and be able to take that to the Naxanamoon. Little mummy shout out for the people, but probably just staying away from this game entirely, except maybe we get some lefty power. Although Nolan Gorman, slide to the left. He's been going down in the lineup over and over like Marshawn Lynch. Going to be staying away from him at 7 hole. That's where we saw him last time out. It's not great. It's not ideal. Yeah, this game sucks. Over 9, just staying away. You should expect runs, though. All right, finally, a play. Kind of. We're talking Phillies. They're hosting, Atlanta again. These two teams putting up some runs of late until today, of course, because you had Strider and lot of really good stuff there. But Aaron Nola on the mound going up against AJ Smith-Shawver, who's been awesome to start off his career. Check out this young cat. I believe just 20 years old, 7th rounder in 2021, came from the absolute stratosphere. 2.65 expected ERA, just 224 pitches into his big league career, though. So I'm not sure if we're going to be looking at that maintaining, but you go through some of his AAA numbers at Gwinnett Stripers. The Gwinnett Stripers, friends, a 1.08 whip. There you go. In 12 innings pitched there. That's fun. Started off AA ball, got himself a nice little call up to the bigs at 20. At 20, I was trying to just be a good kid at Iowa State, live my life like a good-natured Midwestern boy, hit a golf ball around the lot. It was fun. But either way, Aaron Nola, he's really good, huh? 36.1% hard hit percentage, 300 XWOB, but we're not going to go pick on him with these Atlanta Braves in this total. Still a little bit heftier than I might be expecting in this spot, but it is what it is. Makes sense. Two really good pitchers, but 9 for a total. Thought about shorting it, but this kind of leads me to this. I think sometimes you might get enamored with trying to force a certain play in there, but this tells me that they are really expecting lefty power here with the books here going towards this Atlanta Braves team. And Aaron Nola's starting to tighten it up. He wanted love. He needed love most of all. 24.4% K rate, 6.3% walk rate. So we're as good as Atlanta's been. I get why that total's increased, but AJ Smith-Shawver, this is going to be a true test for him with Marsh, Mr. Harper, and of course, Mr. Kyle Schwarber. And that is where I'm looking at anything better than plus 275 there in Philly. Him getting on the card for all you June truthers. There you go. You win. I lose. You're smart. I'm dumb. You're right. I'm wrong. I don't know what to make of it. I don't believe it. But Kyle Schwarber, the home run. Yeah, in the month of June, he should hit better. It's warmer outside. To Yankee Stadium we go for another Mariners-Yankees showdown. This game is just terrible. I kind of want to be moving along from this one as well, but should at least break it down because Luis Castillo is phenomenal at pitching, but it's such a mismatch when you're looking at a questionable starter here on the other side of it. Yeah, Mr. Brito. He's been probably one of the biggest disappointments, I would say. Probably one of the bigger disappointments for the Yankees in recent memory. Johnny Brito. He was supposed to be the truth. But a 5.58 ERA, 1.49 whip. I'm going to be honest with you. He hasn't pitched since the 20th. Got sent down. He wasn't very good. He went to Scranton Wilkes Bar. Scranton. Da-da-dun. Da-da-da-da-dun. Dun, dun, da-da-da-da-dun-dun-dun. See, that's more appealing than betting this game. Look at the numbers. We're seeing nearly minus 180, minus 190 here on the Mariners side at every book. And then you look at the run line, where you're looking at basically a minus 110 standard juice kind of situation. That has to be a stay away, right? It's just so tough to be able to put this on the card. I do lean Seattle minus 1.5 behind Castillo, 218 expected batting average, 29.6% K rate. He was successful in Cincinnati, but now he's been giving up hard hits, 45.9% hard hit percentage. It's been fly ball track record, 16.1 degree average launch angle, four-seamer starting to get hit. As much as I don't like this Yankees lineup in its current configuration without the best hitter in baseball, Aaron Judge, in it, still think you stay away. You gotta just stay away here at the juice. Luis Castillo, I want to back you, but I just can't do it. Minus 1.5, just a little. You know what time it is, friends. Manscaped.com hanging here for the day with us yet again. Check out their Platinum Package 4.0, Performance Package 4.0. If you like to groom, go vroom vroom. You can take care of everything on your body with the Lawnmower 4.0, the Beard Hedger, the Weed Whacker 2.0. So it doesn't matter if it's your beard or electric nose hair trimmer, or if you're looking for a little extra care down there, you know what it is. You want them to stare. You want them to be able to enjoy what you got going on in that situation. So if you, my friends, want to improve that situation, there's no better place to head right now than manscaped.com. They also have this beautiful ultra smooth package for all of your grooming needs, in addition to that Lawnmower 4.0. Why don't you take advantage of this right now? 20% off. It is now the dog days of summer, friends. And I want to sing Boys of Summer here at this point in time. That seems a little bit awkward. So we're going to avoid that at all costs. Instead, just check this out because the cost is reduced by 20% using promo code Stochastic. Check it all out. I repeat, the Lawnmower 4.0. Not even joking. Life-changing stuff. Life-changing stuff. Check it out, my friends. And we continue back to the picks. We go ad read, lock, ad read, lock. Amazing how that works out from time to time, but it's just how it landed today. It's not pre-planned at all. We have Oakland and Cleveland here, 5 games to go. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. As we turn the tide, we were on Oakland plus 1.5. I know it's disturbing. I'm very aware, but we are not doing that today, friends. We are doing the inverse. It is Paul Blackburn of the Oakland Athletics. He's been interesting. He's probably the best pitcher in this rotation long-term. Very limited sample size this season, 29.5% hard hit percentage, 3.16 expected ERA so far this season, 4.14 last season in a much, much, much larger sample size. And, well, against righties this season, it's not like Cleveland's good. 86 WRC plus, they do have J-Ram, they do have Naylor, they do have Bell. I think they have other people. But either way, what we are looking at, friends, is the emergence, the debut of Gavin Williams. Who is Gavin Williams, you ask? Well, when these guys come up and I highlight and star them, you need to take it immediately to the bank. And that is what we have with Gavin Williams here today. This is the best pitching prospect in baseball. Period. I'm just going to throw it out there. In AAA at Columbus Clippers, there you go, 1.09 whip. We're talking a 2.93 ERA, and I am looking at plus stuff across the board. He was a first rounder in 2021, just 23 years of age out of East Carolina. Come on and raise up. Take your shirt off, twist it around your head, spin it like a helicopter. This one's for you. This one's for who? Us. It's fine. Gavin Williams is a lot better than my rapping. That's just a damn fact. Over the beginning of this season, he was unhittable, completely unhittable. The K rate is through the moon, and it just so happens that Oakland, they strike out with a 25.6% K rate and an 86 WRC plus against right-handed pitching, and Gavin Williams is just going to mow them down. I'm so ready for it. Ready for this? So I want all the value that I can get. I wish Paul Blackburn wasn't the guy on the mound, although I don't think we'd be getting plus 125 or anything in that nature in the event that it was there. So I'm getting ultra aggressive here because I do expect Gavin Williams to come out of the gate firing. I know that those are famous last words and you never know till they actually get to the show, but I know Mo. So we're going to fire it up. Cleveland Guardians minus 1.5. Lock button central at plus money. My Minnesota Twins, they're hosting Boston. You're going to call me a homer here, but I don't really care. Sonny Gray on the mound's been just fantastic. He's going to be facing off against Garrett Whitlock and these Red Sox backs. And we'll start with Whitlock here because he's definitely the least appealing of the two pitching options. And if you didn't agree with me, you probably need to reconsider everything you know about baseball. A 283 expected batting average, just a 20.9% K rate. He is limiting some of the walks, but this sinker changeup combination, he's a 2-pitch pony. I think it'll be okay at some points in time. Now, Joey Gallo, can we just put bat on ball? That'd be fun. Max Kepler, let's showing the land of the living. Alex Kirilloff, let's have that 60-grade raw power score on Fangraphs start coming to fruition, buddy. Chop, chop. It's about time. Thank God he's been off the betting card for about 2-3 weeks. Maybe that was the black hole that was sucking all of our life away. And no, it was definitely NBA. NBA got done and we had some fun. We've won like everything, all the money. But either way, the money is mine. Sonny Gray on the other side. Very excited for his backing. 363 expected slugging, 302 ex-WOBA here. A lot of tough lefties, per usual in this Red Sox lineup. We've talked about it a million times, but they're starting to move down the board a little bit. They're starting not to be just insane every game. 106 WRC plus. That's a far cry from the 115 that was lingering around. They were one of the top 5 teams of baseball against righties. Nice to see it dropping down the board. And wouldn't you know it, Twins minus 130 at this number? I get it. I don't like the Twins lineup either, but I like Sonny Gray way more than I like Garrett Whitlock. I like our bullpen more than I like the Red Sox bullpen. So both of those facts considered, pretty easy for me to be firing this one up. Makes a nice pairing if you're looking for another money line. May I suggest that Arizona one earlier? Maybe Cleveland if you're looking for an afternoon one and you don't want to put it on the run line. Although, again, I think it's better to go on the run line plus 125 in that kind of a spot. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he gets steamed over on the Cleveland side. But money line individual play, happy to be doing it. Minnesota, Sonny Gray. Yet another like play. Hey, and this is truly, I got to throw it out there. We have no lines in the last two games of the night, even though those ended up being the two lock plays on Tuesday. So you're definitely going to want to check back over on Twitter for Lindy's locks update, because I will be firing up any information you might want to know about those, or just, my locks in general, talking you through the process of them, talking if anything's changed, because again, these are the plays I put my reputation on. They are the important ones in everybody's betting card every single day. And then, it's not like the rest are just throwaways. They're likes. We want to be hitting on everything every single day, but that's not realistic. Once you focused on the bigger plays and being very top heavy in terms of your betting card, prioritizing a play here, a play there every once in a while, but no Dodgers, Angels line, no San Diego, San Francisco line. So Martin Perez and Michael Kopech last game really with a play from it, because the other ones are going to be leans, and we'll talk through what I think the pitching matchups are going to be. But in this spot in particular, Martin Perez, we've seen some negative regression from him. Just a 15.9% K rate. He's never been a strikeout artist. 284 expected batting average. But Michael Kopech on the other side is starting to weave together starts. And this is something you want to be reactionary to, because he has some of the best stuff in baseball. It's just that it's only ever shown up from a bullpen perspective. It's kind of exciting to see him start to get avoiding some of the hard hits. His last 3 outings, he hasn't given up more than 2 runs. 4 of his last 5 outings, he hasn't given up more than 2 runs. He's given up 1-0 against Seattle and Miami. Those are Seattle and Miami, just throwing it out there. In Detroit, well, they're not great, but we did see him go 7 innings strong there. One problem he's running into are walks from time to time. He's still got just a 1.27 whip, but 6 walks against Seattle, at least something to monitor. But going up against Texas, you're really going to need to have your best stuff, but it's kind of priced in already. So I do think we want to be backing the better pitcher between Kopech and Perez, the guy with the better stuff, even if it is a more difficult matchup. Kind of a clear-cut play to me. We're talking -105, best available number over at BetMGM, also DraftKings Sportsbook, so identical over at that. -103 at BetRivers or Unibet if you have one of those two. Congratulations, I don't. Hate you people. It's like you bet 365 people. You don't know how good you got it. You can sign up for all those goods below too if you want to. But White Sox on the money line, gross, but they are on the card for a half unit. Last play of the night. I hope you guys enjoyed all of the Lindy's Locks updates here from the last couple days, Friday, Monday, Tuesday here. The Tuesday one was really fun because I got to break down bullpens, not always something that I get to do, but it's the second of a 2-game homestand here for the Dodgers, for the Angels. I'm telling you, these bullpens are going to have free reign to do whatever, and I am going to be paying close attention to who pitches how deep in this one. You get Shohei Ohtani, though, should be able to do a lot of the work for the Angels, even against these Dodgers. And Michael Grove on the other side, this is a huge mismatch on paper. Michael Grove, 8.10 ERA, 1.60 whip. Shohei Ohtani, 3.29 ERA, 1.05 whip. God amongst men. Literally Adonis. He's very tall, very strong, very handsome. Shohei Ohtani, way better pitcher. I'm going to be watching these bullpens, though, for another round. If you have questions about that, let me know. But again, I really like the breakdown, like talking through that process where, these bullpen arms, you get an opportunity to just come out and sling it and know you had Thursday off before they go and travel. You got to be paying attention to stuff like that, friends. You got to be paying attention to it. Obviously, I lean the Angels. I just have no idea if I want to be doing anything there, and they're going to be huge favorites. And do you want to be a huge favorite against the Dodgers? My guess is no. And the last game of the night, a little bit more uncertainty that we have in this one, mainly because Sean Manaea is listed as the probable starter at a lot of places. He's only ever been a long reliever over the course of this season. Pretty much every single time he's been a long reliever in these kind of spots. Only 6 appearances, but 3 starts, I suppose, over the course of that. 15 games he has appeared in, 6 starts. So I guess more starts than I anticipated. But Sean Manaea, he's been out of the pen for a long, long time in that long relief role. And similar to last game where it's a massive mismatch, we get Yu Darvish on the mound with his 4.74 ERA, which doesn't look very good, but the surface numbers would look a lot better if he didn't have to go pitch on the moon in Mexico City earlier this season. I'm still a little torn up about the guys for that. It's not very nice. It's like playing in the PCL. It's really hard to be able to judge anything from there. So overall, don't look too far into it. Yu Darvish is still very, very good. He's sitting there with a 26% K rate, a 7.2% walk rate, and a 382 expected slugging. No blemishes whatsoever. Gotta avoid some lefty power. You have the Mike Yastrzemskis of the world, the Michael Confortos. You know the cats. You know the usual suspects. But there's no way I'm not leaning that direction going up against Sean Manaea, if it's going to be Sean Manaea in this long relief role. So more to be determined. Hit me up on Twitter at Eric Lindquist. I'll be happy to let you know if I fire anything up there tomorrow. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on Wednesday's board. As always, check me out on Twitter at Eric Lindquist. Come check out that Lindy's Locks update. Happy to be helping you guys out with that. I know a lot of you had great feedback about that. Going to be continuing to increase what we're going to talk. Just want to give you all of the information. Maybe we'll dive into some home runs the day of as well on days where I might not have a lock. I'm sure one of those will be coming down the pipeline at some point in time. Thank you, producer Jacob. Thank you, BetMGM. Thank you, Manscaped. Great to have everybody along here for the ride. Until next time, friends, until Thursday, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Wednesday.